Today we are going to study a case study on Starbucks coffee. Starbucks opened in Seattle in 1971 when coffee consumption in United States had been declining for a decade. So when in 1971 when coffee consumption was decline or on verge of declining, that time Starbucks opened their stores. So it was the first store in 1971. So they have the vision, even if in the decline phase of coffee consumption, they have a long term vision, and they knew that maybe after some period of time people will start consuming more coffees, and rival brands use cheaper beans to compete on price. So there was a competition, and there was substitute there was a low priced coffee available. That time also Starbucks thought about selling coffee at premium prices. So they have some different plan in their mind. The company's founders decided to try a new concept, selling only the finest imported coffee beans and coffee brewing equipments. So they did not compete with others on low quality and low price. They started competing on the high quality, on high price, and it is not the coffee which is locally available. They started importing premium coffee beans, and they started also selling coffee brewing equipments. The original store did not sell coffee by the cup, only beans. So it is started as a selling beans, and they were not like the stores which we see today. They were not selling coffee drink or cup of coffee. They were selling the beans initially when they opened in 1971. Howard Schultz came to Starbucks in 1982. So he became the CEO. He is now, I think, CEO. While in Milan on business, he had walked into the Italian coffee bar and had an epiphany. There was nothing like this in America. So this Howard, Mr. Howard, he went to some for the business purpose in Italy, and there he found that there is a coffee shop, and it is not it is not such kind of coffee shops are not available in America. So he decided that we should do this type of business. It was an extension of people's front porch. So the people were sitting in the porch. It was an emotional experience to bring this concept to United States. Mr. Howard said about creating an environment that would blend Italian elegance with US informality. So this Mr. Howard, he combined Italian elegance and US culture informality together, and he started entering into that business. And it was emotional experience to give such kind of services. He envisioned Starbucks as a personal treat for its customers, a comfortable social gathering spot bridging the workplace and home. So there was a link, connecting link between the home and workplace. So they want some place. People at that point of time wanted some place which is not exactly like home and which is not exactly like office. It people, the friends or the colleagues should be comfortable. There should be a gathering. There should be they should socialize with each other. They should have fun. They should have talks. They should have gossip. They should have chit chat, and they enjoy the time, quality time. So this was the ideal place. Starbucks expansion throughout the United States was carefully planned. So when they thought that we want to enter into the US market. It's not like they haphazardly in a hurry they opened the store. They had full proof plan, and they worked on it a lot. They have done a lot of research, they have done a lot of analysis, they have done a lot of brainstorming, and then they understood the culture of the US, and they started offering what all things are required by the customers, and why how much comfort and luxury we can give to the customers. All stores were company owned and operated, ensuring complete control over the product and unparalleled image of quality. So they don't want to dilute their image from the day one. So they did not give the franchisee. They gave they started operating themselves, and they give high level of quality, and they had control over their product and services. So you can see in the graph on the slide that in United States they have maximum number of stores, 6,000 stores they have in United States, 6,400. After that they have maximum stores at second place in South Korea, and on the third place it is in Mexico and United Kingdom. And in India, second last on the 14th place we have 207 uh, outlets. And today Starbucks is in alliance with the Tata, and this is from this Starbucks website, and the data is from the quarter 1 2021, and total we can see 32,392 stores, and you can see also graph where the Starbucks is present all over the world. Now this is a conceptual map. You can see on the y-axis you have experience, on top it is high experience, and the bottom it will be low experience, and the cost on x-axis you see at right hand side it is higher cost, it is costlier, and at low at the left hand side it is cheaper. So Starbucks is situated, or on the perceptual map you can see it has got high cost and high experience, and Karibo is compared to Starbucks is low cost and low experience. McDonald's is also almost half of the cost and also half of the average experience, and same with the Dunkin Donuts. Dunkin Donuts is having cheaper than McDonald's, but almost giving same kind of experience, and 7-Eleven is less in cost and less in experience in quality. Starbucks used a hub strategy. Coffee houses entered a new market in a clustered group. So you can see the picture map of USA, and you can see where all Starbucks outlets are available all over the United States. And they use hub strategy. Starbucks use hub strategy. So there was a center. Hub is like a wheel. At the center, you will have a hub, and you have spokes, and one hub is covering a sphere of customers. So one shop, one center of Starbucks, one outlet of the Starbucks is covering some particular circular area. So that is hub strategy used by the Starbucks. Coffee houses entered a new market in a clustered group. Now here you can see the map of the USA, and the you can see the spot. The bigger is the spot, that region has more number of uh, Starbucks outlet, and smaller is the spot, blue spot. You can see the less number of outlets. Although this deliberate saturation often cannibalized 30% of one store's sales, any drop in revenue was offset by efficiencies in marketing and distribution costs and enhanced image of convenience. So, due to the two shops nearby, they used to attract each other's customers, and there is a 30% of loss for any particular shop. When two shops are close together, when they are in the 30, there are chances when two shops are close together, there are chances that 30% of the customer may go to one particular shop which is giving better quality services, and other shop may have 30% of loss of revenue or customers. So that is offsetted by attracting new customer by working on the advertisement, marketing, communication, and promotions. A typical customer stopped by the Starbucks 18 times a month. No US retailer had a higher frequency rate of customer visits. So the if you see normally, people used to visit their stores 18 times a month. So you can say once in a 2 days, and it is higher for any kind of retailer of the such kind of company. Starbucks' success is often attributed to its high quality products and services and its relentless commitment to providing consumers the richest possible sensory experience. So we all know that Starbucks is providing very good customer experience, not only buying experience but all everything. Like you can have fun, you can have quality time to spend, you can have a good environment, you can have memorable moments of your life. Then, however, another critical component is its commitment to social responsibility. So we will see in the next few slides that Starbucks is very much socially responsible, and he has done a lot of work in this area, corporate social responsibility. So basically, the Starbucks you can say is uh, a customer-centric, customer-oriented company. Community. Starbucks gives back to its community in many ways, starting with the employees called partners. Mr. Howard believed that to exceed consumers' expectation, the company must first exceed those of employees. So see the vision of the CEO, that he is thinking that if we want to champion the customer experience, we first have to champion the employees' experience. In order to satisfy the customers, we have to first of all make happy our employees. So Starbucks see their employees as a partner. So it is very few companies they will have this kind of philosophy. In India, most of the companies, they are exploiting employees. They are not promoting the employees. They are giving targets. They are giving tensions, and they are giving they are not providing proper training. They are not giving respect to the employees. Only few organization we have like Tata, they take care of the employees. Otherwise, other organizations, they are just getting profit only through the employees. So being Starbucks partner means having the opportunity to be something more than an employee. Starbucks sees possibilities ahead to grow as a person in your career, in the community, achieve your personal best, be connected to something bigger. So Starbucks is taking care of the employees growth, employees career, and they are providing proper training. They are they are developing employees to be a good citizen also, and developing very good habits. Since 1990, it has provided comprehensive health care to all employees, including part-timers. Health insurance now costs the coffee company more than each year than coffee. So here you can think that not only their full-time employees, even they have part-time employees. For them also, they are providing insurance, and they are spending more on the insurance for the employee, for their family, and it costs more than their raw material, that is coffee beans. They are spending more on the health insurance than the coffee beans. Can you imagine a company which is spending more on the just for the one component of the employee, that is health insurance, more than their raw material? You will not see any other company or any other example. A stock option plan allows employees to participate in the firm's financial success, and the company has committed to hiring 10,000 veterans and military spouses over the next 5 years. So the company is giving opportunity to the employees. If they want, they can purchase the shares of the company, and they are also planning to hire 10,000 military 10,000 employees from the military background, or from the families of the military, those spouses who are widow, or the children who are orphan, whose father devoted their life to the nation in military. So they are a socially responsible organization. So, and they want to employ these 10,000 in next 5 years. So each year they are employing almost 2,000 employees from the military. In 2013, employees donated 630,000 hours of community service. The company hopes to top 1 million hours by the end of 2015. So see, they are asking, their employees are they are working for the environment. They are working for the nation. They are working for the community. Starbucks created the Starbucks Foundation in 1997 to create hope, discovery, opportunity in communities, mainly by supporting literacy programs for children and families in the United States and Canada, and charities worldwide. So they are also working on the literacy rate. They are also working on the people, on the children who cannot able to get the proper education. So they are working in the slum region, there are below poverty line people. So for them, they are providing literacy services. They are giving them education. They are empowering them so that tomorrow they can have some kind of job. Their life can be their life should not be same as like a beggar. So they should stand on their feet. They should be independent. They should have freedom. They should explore their qualities and work on them, and can be beneficial for the nation. The Starbucks Foundation, created in 1997, focuses on supporting literacy programs for children and families in the United States and Canada. Expanded, it has now donated millions of dollars to charities and communities worldwide. Starbucks Coffee Company Foundation, Indonesia. So this is the photo which you can see is from the Indonesia Starbucks Company Foundation. So they are working on the education front, and what you can say, they have an option to get more revenue, more to earn more revenue, to earn more profit. If they do not spend on the social responsibility, CSR activity, they can give back these as a dividend, this money as a dividend. They can give back this money as a dividend to investors, and investor will spend more, and thereby they can grow more, company can be more successful. But it's not like that. Starbucks is equally want to improve their image and give back to the society. In 2013, the foundation gave 8.7 million to 144 non-profit organizations around the world. So 8.7 million dollars donation they had given to NGOs in 2013. Starbucks has donated more than 11 million dollar to the Global Fund through its partnership with the Product Red, a global initiative to help stop the spread of HIV in Africa. So for HIV cause, they have donated 11 million dollar to Global Fund to stop the HIV, to work in that field, to make the awareness and other research. And their initiative is like that, like if you purchase any product, and some amount of that product they will donate to this charity, Global Fund. And they also advertise like that, like Starbucks Love Project, and it is do something good with every purchase. So after every purchase of Starbucks coffee beans or in any items, any products, they will donate this some amount, or dollar, maybe it is $1 to this fund. So this is another advertisement. Check in on Foursquare between June 1st to June 10th. Every time you do it, will trigger $1 to help fight AIDS. So I was telling the same, because they will donate $1 to fight AIDS if you purchase some product, some of their products, or any products. Starbucks goal is to give $250, $250,000. They have a target for each thing. They have target. They have target of 2 lakh, donating 250,000 to this initiative to fight AIDS. And will they are saying that will contribute $1 for every check-in on Foursquare in Starbucks stores in the US and Canada. Ethical sourcing. They're also working on ethical sourcing. Starbucks collaborates with the Conservation International, that is CI, a non-governmental organization, and follows coffee and farmer equity (CAFE) practices, a comprehensive coffee buying program to purchase high quality coffee from the farmers who meet social, economic, and environmental standards. So they are. I said that they are importing coffee beans to maintain the quality, but they are not importing from any farmer. There is also filter. There is also criteria. Those farmer who are using good environment friendly practices in their farm, they are sourcing their coffee beans, their raw material, only from these farmers. That's why there should not be any damage to the environment. So that is very good practices, and that's why they have tied up. They are member of the Conservation International (CI) and non-governmental organization Coffee and Farmer Equity practices. So under this Coffee and Farmer Equity CFE practices, they ensure these organizations ensure that they are getting the coffee beans from the farmers who are using environment friendly practices in their farm. So that is called ethical sourcing. So coffee sourcing is through CFE guidelines, increasing the purchase of CFE certified coffee, and they are also member of Fair Trade and organization. So it is fair trade. It is not the like you might have seen. There are some organization in the world. They are sourcing their material not using fair trade practices, and that's how they are reducing the prices and they are earning the profit. But Starbucks is not like that. Starbucks is exactly opposite of exactly against these unfair practices. They are also supporting farmers. They are providing loans to the farmers. They have provided till date 14.5 million US dollar loan. Cash flow challenges between harvest. So it helps farmers to use this money for harvest purpose. Of 396 million pounds of coffee Starbucks purchased in 2013, 95% was ethically sourced. So almost you can say 100% of their coffee beans are ethically sourced. It is not damaging environment. The company also works continuously with the farmers to improve responsible methods of farming, such as by planting trees along the rivers and using shade growing techniques to help preserve forests. So they are also preserving forests. They are also planting trees along riverside so that the soil should not move. So if the soil around the is moving, if you plant more trees, the soil becomes more fertile because that trees hold that soil, and soil erosion will not happen. Soil will not move further. And most of the time, what happens? The fertile soil, because of the winds and all those these because of environmental changes, because of cyclones and winds, heavy winds, the fertile soil move from one place to another place, and soil erosion happens. So under CSR efforts, they are focusing more on ethical sourcing. They are focusing on environment to conserve the environment, and they're also working for the community. Over the years, Starbucks has invested more than 70 million in collaborative farmers program and activities. So they have worked for the farmers also. Starbucks is considered a leader in green initiative, building new LEED certified green buildings, receive waste and improving water conservation, recycled or used by 2015. So making their outlets environment friendly. So they are planting more trees in their offices, or they are preparing their offices such that the minimum damage should happen to the environment, or you can say that their outlets are environment friendly outlets in as per the guidelines of LEED certification. There are some green buildings. You have to if you don't have the information regarding this, you can read more about that. You can search more about that, because there are plants. There are guidelines for the factories to how they can set up environment friendly green field plant. The world's most recycled beverage cup made of 10% post-consumer fiber. So the maximum waste is happening because of the cups in which consumer or the customer is drinking coffee. So that should be recycled. The world's first recycled beverage cup made of 10% post-consumer fibers. So they are using environment-friendly cup. The cups can be recycled, and it took 10 years to them to prepare such recycled cup. 10 years in the making, and the new hot cup paper sleeve that requires fewer materials to make conserve approximately 1 lakh trees a year. So they are saving the trees by recycling the cup, and they're also preparing the sleeve. So the coffee should remain hot. There is one cover you can place around the that cup, so coffee can remain hot for longer period of time. So that also they're also trying to make it recycle. They should be also recycled. They're working on it. Now the team is working to ensure that customers recycle. So Starbucks, no more broken promises. So there is a controversy. There is huge controversy regarding this recycled cup. So this is a small thing for us in India that we don't care that whether the cups are going to be recycled or not. So see, in US we criticize a lot. Many people criticize a lot US, but their organization see even the small thing that is a cup. They are more worried about that recycling of the cup or the environment pollution happening because of that cup. And the controversy is that because there is a plastic coating around the cup or there is a chemical coating around the cup, that cup cannot be recycled. And there are so many cups every day they are coming out of the Starbucks outlets. So Starbucks is saying that it is recyclable, but people are not believing because if that cup is having some plastic coating or some chemical coating, it cannot be recycled. That is the very big controversy in USA. So Indians should learn that how we have to take care of environment. It's not we cannot grow without with harming environment, with polluting environment. Some or the other day we will have to face very uh, huge consequences for the environment pollution. So 100% Starbucks is saying it is they are providing better cups. That is pre-commit to make and serve 100% recyclable cup, and they have committed to 25% post-consumer recycled content in their cups, and they recommit to 25% reusable cup usage by providing better incentives to the customer. So there is a offer from the Starbucks. If they bring in their cups, if customer comes along with the cup, if they bring a cup from their house, then they give 10% discount on the products they have. And they are trying to use 25% recycled cups. 25% material of the cup should be recycled. Here is what you can and you can't recycle from your Starbucks order. So this is what all you can recycle. So lead, you have to thrash it. Plastic is not recyclable in Ramsey County. Sleeve, that is coating I said around the cup, which will help to keep the coffee hot, that can be recycled. That is cardboard. Then cup polyethylene plastic coating it has got. If there is a coating like polyethylene plastic, then you cannot able to recycle. And you can bring your cup or you can use recyclable cup. Then straw you can recycle. It is made of a plastic. Then lid you can recycle it if it is made of plastic. Then cup you can recycle it. It is plastic. Dispose of excess liquid before recycling. So there is option. There are option of cups which can be recycled. Jim Hanna, Starbucks director of environmental impact, explains Starbucks defines a recyclable cup not by what the cup is made out of, but by our customers actually having access to recycling services. So they are not limited themselves to the recycling of cup or their products. They want to customers should participate in their recycling services, or customers should get benefit out of these recycling services. Starbucks goal is to make 100% of its cup recycled or reused. Starbucks pledges to develop recyclable cup by 2021. Mr. Howard stepped down as a CEO in 2000 but returned as a CEO president and chairman in 2008 to help. Mr. Howard stepped down as a CEO in 2000 but returned as CEO, president, and chairman in 2008 to help restore the growth and excitement to the powerhouse chain. Today, more than 3 billion customers visit Starbucks. 3 billion is how much? 3 billion is 3,000 million. So 300 uh, so 30 crore, 30 crore. Today, more than 30 crore customers visit Starbucks in their 20,000 stores in 65 countries annually. So it's huge number. The company has more than 2 lakh employees and brought in 14 billion US dollar in revenue in 2013. To achieve its international growth goals, Mr. Howard believes Starbucks must retain a passion for coffee and a sense of humanity and continue to prove that the company stands for something more than just profitability. So they don't want to limit their organization to just coffee. They want to invest in community. They want to invest in humanity. They want to invest in socialization, community development, community empowerment, then environment friendly products and services, and good customer experience that should be there. Now there are questions. Starbucks makes business decisions that are both ethical and responsible. Has it done a good job to the communicating its efforts to consumer? Do consumers believe Starbucks is a socially responsible company? Why or why not? So basic question is ethically and responsible company, that brand image of Starbucks, has it done a good job communicating its efforts to consumers? So has Starbucks benefited from the ethical and responsible behavior communication, that is marketing to the customers that they are ethically and responsible company? Second question is, where does a company like Starbucks draw the line and on supporting socially responsible programs? How much of its annual budget should go towards these programs? How much time should employees focus on them? Which program should it support? So how much they should spend on the CSR activities, charities and donation? What should be the limit? Third question is, how do you measure the results of Starbucks socially responsible program? So the outcomes, how we are going to measure that? So we have to understand basic things like Starbucks marketing is to the target. What is the audience or the customers of the Starbucks? What is the target group is between 18 years old to 40 years old, 18 to 40. Life cycle, if you take into consider the life cycle of the customer, they are young and adults, gender male, both male and female. Then income should be it should be middle class and higher income, rich people and middle class people. They can afford these services. Now positioning is high price and high quality, so they are into premium product. Now demographic, like they are focusing on the working professional, they are focusing on the young college graduates, they are focusing on the middle age group, family people, and their college students. Now, first question we ask is, Starbucks has worked hard to act ethically and responsible. Has it done good job in communicating that efforts? Now, Starbucks charges a premium price for the coffee, and does it so because it is able to market to consumers that this is good quality coffee, has been ethically sourced and served by a responsible company. So they are into a premium coffee business, and they are sourcing that from the farmers who are practicing, who are not harming the environment, and ethically also they are doing CSR activities. So that is one part. Second part is Starbucks employees volunteer in community service, and it partners initiatives to support literacy program and fight and stop the spread of AIDS. So they are working in the education, providing education to the community and fighting against AIDS. Starbucks shares its message regarding ethical and social responsibility on its corporate website. Then there are many international reports publishing and social work and ethical practices incorporated by the Starbucks. So because of this activity, people have started discussing about the Starbucks, and many people get the inspiration from the Starbucks, and that's what we are also studying. That's what management students are also studying, and we are going when we become when students will become a manager, when they will reach to the CEO MD post, and they may be in charge of the entire organization. That time they will implement these efforts taken by the Starbucks. They will have they will implement the success formula of the Starbucks in their organization. And there are reports, there are news, there are so many communication happening in the media regarding Starbucks. So Starbucks is definitely getting benefit out of it, and most importantly, when it is communicated to the customers in developed countries, it matters a lot. They don't want to they are ethical people. Customers are also very sensitive about these products and these organizations, so they are sure that whatever they are purchasing, it is not going to harm the environment. So it has got a lot of benefit from customer side, from media, from inspiring others, from teaching students. So there is a lot of benefit out of this communication, ethical and social CSR communication about the Starbucks. Where does a company like Starbucks draw a line on supporting socially responsible program? For example, how much of its annual budget should go towards this program? So Starbucks Foundation supports literacy program. They even partner with the international NGO to foster programs. It also donates 5 cents from every sale of its ethos bottled water to improve quality of water in poor countries, and $10 million pledge. So they are working in the to in conserving water, drinking water. They are working in the area of drinking, improving drinking water supply to people. So they are donating 5 cents from the sale of water bottle. They are selling water bottle through that. They are donating some amount of money, and they are going to donate $10 million in this for this cause. So in the second part, Starbucks employees volunteer in a community service, and it spends a huge sum of CSR. So community for the community services, Starbucks is deploying their employees and employees working hours. So it also has the cost. If tomorrow, if government wants to provide that services to the community, government has to hire people, and government has to spend some money on that. But under CSR, Starbucks is providing that. Starbucks is providing that. Uh, Starbucks is providing that free of cost. In my opinion, it should be reevaluate the strategy and focus to support the concept that promote their brand as well. So it is good. It is always good that you are doing it for community, and the it should not hamper your profitability. The concern should be in doing CSR activities, in doing community work. You should not lose the profitability. Your organization should not hamper on revenue front. Starbucks must support programs for the upliftment of the poor farmers. Moreover, the programs like voluntary community service by the employees send a very good positive image in everybody's mind. So, where they should draw the line, it depends on them. The only thing is that they should not hamper their profitability, and they should also assess the how much benefit they are getting because of that. How much new customer they are getting. What is the how brand image is improving. How customer satisfaction, customer perception is improving. How much awareness customer has about these activities. Do these activities significantly matter to the customer? That research company should do. Okay, but in all, it is such a activities will always helps organization in long term. We have seen in India, Tata and Wipro have done such activities, and now they are leaders in the category. How do you measure the results of Starbucks socially responsible programs? Starbucks social responsibility strategy is based on three pillars: community, service, then ethical sourcing, and environment conservation. This is a hit or a success as they aim to improve the life of the people and quality of the products. So the question was, how do you measure the results of Starbucks socially responsible program? So whatever they are doing for the community, for the environment, uh, it is it is a big success because it is always discussed in the media by the customers. by the competitors and by the other people. Everybody is discussing about the initiatives taken by the Starbucks, and it is, as I said, it is inspiration for the others, and others are following Starbucks. So that is great success. If some competitors or some organization are following your steps, and you're the pioneer organization in that. Starbucks promotes its social responsibility activities a lot online, but on the other hand, fights with the government for its moves such as stricter pollution standards. So Starbucks should be aware. People should not say that they are diplomatic. They fight with the government to reduce the pollution standard, and also they are doing some CSR activities. So you should have clear clarity in what you are doing, or what is your opinion about this conservation of environment. Still, it has supported the NGOs funded literacy programs, organized community service whenever need arises. This certainly creates a positive image of its brand. So definitely all these activities, no doubt they are having positive image, and in long term, Starbucks is going to benefit it. And you can see by the increase in the stores, they have 32,392 stores, and they are almost present in almost all the countries, in maximum countries. Starbucks at 50, a sprawling coffee empire. So you can see in United States they have 15,000 stores, in United Kingdom they have 1,000, in Canada 1,500, in China 4,000, South Korea 1,500, and in Japan 1,600 stores. Out of these 32,000 or 33,000 stores, 51% stores are company operated, company owned, and 49% are license or franchise, you can say. So 50% they own their stores, 50% they have given franchisee. So it is 50-50% balance. Starbucks location worldwide. So by the 2021, they have more than 30,000 stores, and you can see the graph how they have grown. So here it is the success growth. If they are doing community service, they are doing environment conservation, and they are also growing. So that indicates that their social responsibility program, their ethical sourcing program, their community service program is helping them to build a good brand image. That's why they are getting success. They are getting acceptance worldwide, globally. Otherwise, if they were not doing that, they might be successful only in Italy, or only in US, or only in UK. So if you want to become a global company, you should have a long-term vision and good vision. Distribution of the stores by the segment. So in America, they have maximum stores, 55% stores. Then internationally, they have 23 stores, 23% stores. And in CAP region, CAP is China, Asia Pacific, they have 17% stores. And in EMEA region, that is Europe, Middle East and Africa, Middle East, Asia and Africa, Middle East, Asia and Africa, they have 6% stores. Do consumers believe Starbucks is a responsible company? Practicing business, the answer is practicing business on the basis of ethics and moral values. They are working on the some principles and values. Then blending corporate social responsibility and marketing activities. So they are doing CSR activities, but they are also using that CSR activities for marketing purpose. As we discussed, that it is discussed a lot in media, it is studied all over the world, and it is also in the news, and also on their online, on their website. So it is a marketing tool for Starbucks, following the cause related marketing style. So it is called cause related marketing. Help in bringing sustainability by giving something back to the society in whichever way possible. So Starbucks as a company is giving maximum things to the giving back to the society. So here, any entrepreneur or a company should get learning that your task is to give back to the society. We have seen in India, Azim Premji from Wipro. He has given thousands of crores of uh, money back to the society. He could have retain that money. He could become a richest person, or he could given back that to the company or the investors, and he could have increased the share prices of the company, and he could have become the richest company in the world, one of the richest company in the world. But he did not do that. He gave back to the society whatever he earned from the society. Background about the Starbucks, an American coffee company, or a coffee house chain, you can say. It's founded in 1971 in Seattle, and Mr. Howard joined in 1982, and he's CEO, president, chairman of the company, and has 1,42,000 employees, 9.8 billion US dollar generated as the revenues every year. Then regarding products, we'll discuss whole bean coffee, then micro grounded instant coffee via espresso, cafe latte, then uh, Tiavana tea products, then fresh juices, then Frappuccino beverages. Within this coffee, there are various types. There are strong coffee. There are black coffee. Then there are mild coffee. Then there are there is a diluted coffee. So it differs. It gives different kind of taste, and people have various tastes, various different tastes. They just said that they have 84,000 of combination in coffees. Then they have sandwiches. Then they have muffins. They have brownie. They have cookie. They have wraps, salads, and so on. Then they have mugs and tumblers. They have raw coffee and tea beans. Then they have Starbucks accessories and goodies. Then their principle. to inspire and to nurture the human spirit, one person, one cup, and one neighborhood at a time. Then we are passionate about the ethically sourcing the finest coffee beans, roasting them with the great care, and improving the lives of the people who grow them. Then we are called partners because it's not just a job; it's our passion. Together, we embrace diversity to create a place where each of us can be ourselves. We always treat each other with respect and dignity. When we are fully engaged, we connect with laugh with and uplift the lives of our customers, even if just for a few moments. Sure, it starts with the promise of a perfectly made beverage, but our work goes far beyond that. Regarding goals, building a company with a soul, then customer satisfaction, then contribute back to the society, then best quality products and services are their goals. In SWOT analysis, the strength worldwide leader in the coffee industry products are of high quality and unique products. They have 84,000 combinations, has outlets all over the world, and has high brand equity. These are the strengths. Then weaknesses: high price products than competitors. That is one of the weakness. Then only famous for its different coffee products, thus highly dependent on the one product, that is coffee. Higher operating cost as coffee beans have to be imported. So the raw material which they are using is imported, so they do not have control over their raw material. So that is, if tomorrow import stops, that they are in the trouble, and their taste will also hamper, or it will change. If not hamper, it will change. Has huge potential market in developing countries like India, so that is the opportunity, and can join venture with the supermarkets to sell its high quality coffee beans. So through the supermarkets they can sell the bean. That is also, so people can have the coffee in their houses also at odd time. Whenever they don't want to go out, they can have coffee in their home. Higher operating costs as coffee beans have to be imported, so the raw material cost is high. Then for the treat, they faces huge competition from the cheaper and famous brands. Like there is a competition from the Cafe Coffee Day and a lot of Mac Cafe and a lot of competitors. You must be knowing more than me. Then the report suggests usage of contaminated beans. Reports suggest usage of contaminated beans that health conscious consumers are worried of. So if there is a problem with the beans, if there is some kind of controversy with the beans, then brand image will hamper. That is the threat. The local cultural and political issues trouble the establishment. Local cultural and political issues trouble the establishment. So as it is more profitable organization, the political people, they may try to interfere their success. Then on competitive positioning, there are some if we see the competition of Starbucks with the other players in the coffee industry, some characters competitors can copy, some characters competitors cannot copy. So some characters which can copied by the competitors, they are called POP, point of parity, similar characters. And the characters which cannot be copied or difficult to copy, it's called POD. It is a point of parity, point of difference. So convenience, others can provide value, others can provide for the fast food chains and by the convenience shop. Then quality, local cafe can provide experience, local cafe can provide price, on the cheap price, local cafe can provide. Even they can give a high quality, high price. That is not an issue. Community service also can be done by the other brands. But what is differentiating from others is quality. They have 84,000 combination. The brand image of the Starbucks, the experience which you will get at the Starbucks is unique. Then variety of their products. Then freshness, yes, and convenience. So these are the differentiating characters. Now Starbucks mantra. Starbucks gives the richest possible sensory experience while drinking the coffee. So taste is unique, and they have huge combinations. So and they have mild coffee, strong coffee, diluted coffee. So it is espresso, and different names have given for that. Position themselves as being more than just coffee. It is not just coffee. It is Starbucks. Then in it is emotional modifier. Then in descriptive modifier, it is unique and warm third place for their customers to go outside home and office. So there is a connecting. It is connecting link between office and home. Then next is brand function. Starbucks is known for its best in class coffee. Then brand awareness and attitude. Logo is identifiable by the people even without the name. High brand equity in the market. So now if you see Starbucks, they don't write their name below the logo. So Starbucks is identified by the just logo. Every time you walk into the Starbucks, you know you will be greeted with a smile and friendly attitude. Every Starbucks has a similar feel, and your drink order will taste the same whether you are in New York or Spain, or in India or China. The training of the staff provide a superior experience that the Starbucks client base has come to expect. So there is another case study for this. There is one more case study how they are providing training to at the Starbucks. So they are taking a lot of care for providing training to the employees. The company's great marketing strategies, free Wi-Fi, co- comfort and relaxing store layouts, comfy and relaxing store layouts, and top-notch coffee. It's no wonder why this company has built such a great reputation. Then regarding brand appeal, it is they are providing personalized service, customer intimacy, and human touch. They have then great quality products. They have served in a clean and convenient stores. Then coffee shops are located in convenient and strategic location, served in a special and intimate ambience according to each customer's taste. Then contemporary design that is the consistent with its advertising and decor. Then they focuses on social networking in cultivating a youthful image. They have introduced sugary whipped cream topping drinks and steamed milk with the
focus on teenagers, flexible changes to the orders and memorizing of the favorite orders for its customer. So because they are giving customized coffee, and these moments become memorable. They are also working on the ideas. They are asking customers and the employees to give ideas. That's how they introduce Wi-Fi, and they are actually implementing those ideas. So mobile payment through drive-throughs, then cake pops, 58 lakhs cake pop treats enjoyed each year with the Friday bring it most popular day. So they are giving treats to the customers. Their customers, they if free birthday treat, they have given free birthday treat to 1 lakh customers. They choose lucky customers, regular customers for this birthday treat. Then they are started giving Wi-Fi. 7,500 Starbucks in the US and Canada have Wi-Fi that can be accessed with just one click, and for that they are having no cost. So there are so many ideas like that. So 20 lakhs people, they have voted for the Starbucks ideas, and this number is more than any city's election. More than 1,50,000 ideas submitted over the past 5 years. Then they have new flavors. The people are suggesting new flavors, new combination. Then they have idea for splash sticks, keeping clothes cleaner for the so they have sticks, and if you remove that sticks on the clothes of the I think probably of their employees, and maybe for the customers, if you splash that sticks, your clothes will be clean. So that is also one idea which they are implementing. Then happy hour, they are giving discount on the happy hours. You have seen on the Wednesday there is less traffic, less visitors, well, less customers, they visit their outlets, so it is they are providing happy hours, that is they provide discount on that particular day. Then there are some facts. There are over 87,000 possible drink combination at the Starbucks. Second fact is at $300 million, Starbucks spends more on healthcare insurance for its employees than the coffee beans. Ethical sourcing, Starbucks has partnered with the Conservation International. This will ensure coffee it purchases is of highest quality. Moreover, it ensures that the coffee has been responsibly grown and ethically traded. Starbucks has created world's first recycled beverages cup. This will mean conserving 78,000 trees every year. They also emphasize energy and water conservation and building green LED certified buildings around the world. Starbucks Foundation supports literacy programs in the US and Canada and has donated millions of dollars to the charities. Starbucks employs volunteer community services hours in events such as during any disaster. Starbucks is also a partner in Product Red that helps to fight and stop the spread of HIV in Africa. And with regarding a fair trade initiative, Starbucks is world's largest fair trade purchaser. Then regarding corporate commitment, Starbucks is aim to have 100% of their coffee certified and verified by an independent third party. Then regarding customer impression, 60% customer gives a good rating, or they are aware of their fair trade initiatives. Then Starbucks reaches to the 75 countries, 27,000 stores. Just we have seen it has increased to 32,000 stores, and they have 3 lakhs employees. Starbucks has utilized the human resources approach through constant communication with their partners or with their employees about working environments, benefits, and productivity. They have provided their partners or their employees with a consistent access to information regarding their benefits, as well as given them that information in over 15 different languages. So as they are working in the 75 countries, they are giving their instruction, their information in 15 different languages, and they are transparent with their employees. They are giving all the details which is required, which an employee should know about them. It may be profit, it may be the rules regulation, it may be the ethical ways of working, it may be rules and regulation to become a good person, a good citizen, good employee, good marketer, a good customer centric service provider. Marketing and print, under in marketing and print advertising, Starbucks or nothing. So they advertise like Starbucks, drink Starbucks or nothing, because compromise leaves really bad after taste. So don't compromise. If you compromise, you will not have the best experience. Share and Snowflake. So the toppings which Starbucks has, for that they compare that the toppings of the Starbucks is with Snowflake. Then it's your coffee. If your coffee is not perfect, we will make it over. And still it is not perfect, make sure you are in the Starbucks. So the guarantee of perfection. If your coffee is by chance, if it is not perfect, then we will make it perfect a second time. And if you even don't get if the customer don't get perfect coffee second time, then that person is not in the Starbucks outlet. That person is in some else, uh, somebody else company's outlet. Social responsibilities. It took Starbucks 10 years of development to create world's first recycled beverage cup made up of 10% post-consumer fiber, conserving approximately 78,000 trees a year. Conserving. So they saved at least 78,000 trees. Now the team is working to ensure that the customers recycle. The firm the customers should participate in their recycling services. The firm also emphasizes energy and water conservation and building green LEED certification building around the world. And coming for one of the 87,000 drink combinations, all made with 100% responsibly grown, ethically traded espresso. So this is all regarding uh, Starbucks. We have discussed this case study in detail. Still, there is a lot to learn from this Starbucks. Starbucks is a very good company to learn these CSR activities, to learn ethical practices, to learn the community, how to do community services, and still become number one company. And how to provide luxurious services, how to sell the premium product, how to become a customer centric company, how to become a employee oriented company. So this is all about Starbucks. Thank you for watching this case study.